We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
FBI whistleblowers, political attacks on centrists, urban flight, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. FBI whistleblowers testified before Congress alleging retaliation for exposing political rot within the Bureau, while the FBI revoked some of their security clearances and Democrats accused them of being a national security threat. The House Judiciary Committee and the Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government, chaired by Representative Jim Jordan, released a report on what they called the politically weaponized FBI and held a whistleblower hearing on Thursday. The FBI pushed out a letter criticizing some of the witnesses, testifying to counter their allegations. Jordan called the whistleblowers brave for speaking out and said they suffered backlash from the FBI as a result. The new House Republican report blasted improper retaliation by the FBI against the whistleblowers who testified on Thursday. FBI Special Agent Stephen Friend, FBI Special Agent Garrett O'Boyle, and FBI Staff Operations Specialist Marcus Allen. Whistleblower testimony makes clear that the FBI rid itself of employees who dared to speak out against FBI leadership or to raise good faith concerns about FBI operations, the report states. The FBI has taken personnel actions against whistleblowers who raised concerns within the Bureau and later to Congress. In several instances, Friend, O'Boyle, and Allen, the FBI weaponized the security clearance adjudication process to silence employees who fight against the politicized rot within the FBI leadership. During the testimony, it was pointed out the vast differences of how the Democrats treated the FBI whistleblowers as opposed to how they treated January 6th whistleblowers. The presidential campaign of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced that former U.S. Congressman Dennis Kucinich will serve as its campaign manager. Mr. Kucinich has long been known as one of the foremost progressive voices in American politics. In 1977, he became, at age 31, the mayor of the city of Cleveland and one of the youngest big city mayors ever. In 1996, he was elected to the House of Representatives, where he served for 16 years. During his time in Congress, Kucinich led the effort against the Iraq War and the Patriot Act and served as the chair of the Progressive Caucus. He competed in the Democratic presidential primary in 2004 and 2008. He's the author of several books, including the acclaimed The Division of Light and Power. Due to his early opposition of the Iraq War, free trade agreements, and the surveillance state, and his support for huge investments in infrastructure, Mr. Kucinich has earned a reputation as one of America's most prescient politicians. In 2018, the Washington Post called him the future of American politics. Dennis Kucinich has brought invaluable electoral experience to our campaign, said Mr. Kennedy. He knows how the system works from the inside out, and his deep knowledge of issues and his personal integrity are fully aligned with the core values our campaign is bringing to American politics. Several current and former Democratic elected officials and ad consultants are developing a research war room to find any pretext for charges that the centrist No Labels organization is violating their status as a 501c4 nonprofit organization, as the group registers as a political party to run more centrist candidates. No Labels issued a statement saying, No Labels has not and will not take any action that is not legal and honorable. Not only do we consult our attorneys about every move we make, but we then step back and make a judgment that the reality and the appearance are right. This follows the local Democratic Party in Arizona last month filing a baseless lawsuit to try to kick No Labels off the 2024 voting ballot, and a partisan Secretary of State in Maine sending a letter claiming No Labels is misleading voters about their work in the state. Democratic officials have stated that they fear a No Labels candidate will pull moderate Democrats away from their candidates and cause Republicans to win more elections. The United States announced a fresh round of sanctions against Russia over its invasion of Ukraine on Thursday, as President Biden joined leaders of the world's advanced economies for a Group of 7 summit in Hiroshima, Japan. A top Biden administration official said the measures would make it harder for Moscow to sidestep sanctions and access the international financial system to fund its war. The official said G7 nations also would discuss ways to help target Russia's finances. The U.S. also will blacklist dozens of entities and target more than 300 individuals and entities in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia that have helped Russia financially. Ukrainian President Zelensky was expected to fly to the summit to request more military aid. Some of America's largest cities have seen a significant decrease in population since the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, with the Big Apple topping the list during the 3-year period. A report by the U.S. Census Bureau released Thursday estimated more than 468,200 residents left New York City between April 2020 and July 2022, accounting for a 5.3% decrease in the city's population. The largest loss came between 2020 and 2021, when the population declined by just over 281,000. Only 3 other U.S. cities saw worse percentages during the same time period, with San Francisco, California losing 7.5% of its residents, Louisiana's Lake Charles losing 6.9%, and Revere, Massachusetts losing 5.9%. Despite the loss of hundreds of thousands of residents, New York City remains America's largest city by a long shot, as more than 8.3 million people call it home. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.